God, I love opening up Twitter and finding and just finding some cool stories. This one's a cool story for you guys, and this one's like a good reason if for all my bros out there whose like wives or girlfriends are like, hey, you need to go to the dentist. You need to schedule the dentist. Then you get home after a long day and they're like, did you make your dentist appointment? I finally made my disappointment and I went, and my mouth was better than it has been in a long time. And I haven't gone to the dentist since I was like 26, and I'm 30 now. And my mouth has gotten better. I thought as we got an age, it's not supposed to happen. And I'm not saying don't go to the dentist, but this little video right here, there was a documentary called Root Cause or Root Canal, something like that, on Netflix. And from what I'm picking up, if I'm reading between the lines, if I'm picking up what they're putting down, it was basically like, hey, just like doctors and surgeries, and if you go to the pharmacy, these physicians, these doctors are going to want to cut you open. They're going to want to put you on a pill because they get reimbursements from insurance, i.e., that's where the money is coming from, baby. It's not, these doctors aren't doing it because they want to be the best doctors because they feel good inside. No, they're doing it so they can line those pockets with dollars, and they get invited to the freak offs. Now, granted, the freak offs are going to have to be hosted by somebody other than Diddy now, but that's why the doctors are doing it. So they can get to that Bill Gates status and get that freak nasty, freak Diddy kind of party. So let's hear what this lady has to say.
I know that there was a documentary on Netflix. It was called The Root Cause.
Yes.
And it exposed a lot of things that you're talking about. And it educated the population on a lot of things that you're talking about. And then it mysteriously disappeared. It's gone.
It was a class action lawsuit by the American Association of Endodontists. And they said it was scaring the public or something ridiculous.
You mean scaring the public into not doing it so
Right.
it ruins their money?
Boom. And ain't that just like in politics too, where they want to control, like where Hillary Clinton's coming out saying we need to rein in on social media because we're losing control. They want to control the flow of information. That's like some George Orwellian type shit right there. And here, this is people with money and with power trying to pay off the people who distribute that information and content to say, hey, we don't want that out there. We're paying you big, big dollars. Why you fuck with our money like that?
Well, yes. I mean, they do, they're protecting the interests of their members, and their members, they make their living doing this stuff. I hate to say that because getting someone out of pain is give somebody their life back.
Aren't there things that you can do for a root canal naturally, like
Yes.
Dr. Daryl and I have talked about, like taking black seed oil?
Yes.
He has the black seed oil I take every day.
Yes, and homeopathics. By the way, in a tooth with deep decay, there are way, way, way too many dentists that are in this mechanical removal of decay, seeing like they got to scrub everything, and then they expose the nerve, and then they go, oh, Lauren, we got to do a root canal now. The nerve is exposed. The decay was so
Well,
deep.
my girlfriend's
First thing I
Lauren.
do in
She used
deep
to work in
decay in our
the
offices.
dentist. That's why it's such a sensitive subject to me. My girlfriend used to work in a dentist office, and she scared the shit out of me with the Streptococcus mutans and all this other shit, the periodontal disease.
We use ozone.
Still got
Ozone
PTSD from it.
disinfects that deep decay, and the decay kind of sloughs off. Then you get down to the healthy tooth. And then sometimes I'll do what's called a laser pulp cap. I'll use a little laser light to protect the nerve. And then we build that tooth back up, and we keep that tooth vital. There's way too many root canals that are done like a knee-jerk response.
I want to do more information about this, especially with the black seed oil. I'm curious to see what the black seed oil would actually do with this. But this is going to be something I put my Lauren on, my Lolo on, and say, hey, do a little bit of research on this, because she is obsessed with like mouth health or oral hygiene. So my mouth is very clean because she makes sure that it's clean. That's how not only is her mouth clean, she keeps my shit clean. So I shout out to her. But this is the same thing. So for to me, coming back, my background is like health and fitness. This is the same thing with me going to doctors, and I would have like people going from the gym to the doctors like, hey, the doctor wants to give me a knee replacement or a hip replacement, or they want to open up my shoulder and do my shoulder. And people just, it's so crazy that people just trust the doctors. And I get why you would just trust the doctors. They went to med school at 8 years. They are at a minimum of 8 years and just and educated this thing more so than I am, I admit. But at the end of the day, doctors are humans, and humans are flawed creatures, and humans can be wrong. And just because what am I trying to say here? What do you call the guy who graduated last in his medical class? A doctor. So you can get the worst bottom student and still get the doctor and not always get the valedictorian. I'm kind of messing up my words on this one. But there is a lot of doctors, and I think hopefully the people who see this can agree with this. There's a lot of doctors out there who don't want to prescribe you a holistic approach of diet, exercise, change your nutrition, change your lifestyle, that can really reverse and get you in a healthier place mentally, physically, and spiritually. And it's sad because they just want to cut you open. They want to give you a pill. They want to have this recurring revenue for reimbursement from insurance and big pharma. There's a lot of push on this. And you have guys like Brigham Bueller, who used to be sales reps, who would go out to these big like think tanks. They would come out with a new pill like Ozempic, give you the stats on all the good that's from it, which is like 5 things, and then they hide the other, 17 pages of all the cons. And they're just like, slap this out there, and then they get paid a healthy salary with good incentives to go sell that shit. And it's gross and malicious when you really pull out. But for the dudes who are in it, who are just these representatives, it's not like they're like, they may have some internal conflict with it, but at the end of the day, they got to pay their bills too. And this whole topic for me is just kind of on the nose, because now my background is in personal training, but now I'm a medical sales. So I totally can relate to what I'm trying to portray to you guys. So if you guys are picking up the words that are flowing out of my mouth, I'm sorry, this video, it was, like I kind of stuttered a little bit, but if you're kind of reading in between the lines, you're picking it up, you're looking at it, you're like, okay, I get what he's saying. Like the video, subscribe, share with your friends. We react to everything I find on the internet. Not always politics, not always this stuff. Sometimes it's anime, movies, games. Most recently, it's been a lot of politics, but it's the election cycle, and I think it's the most important election of my lifetime. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.